Yeah, I feel like in the US community, like, so I only came to US 2 years ago. Before that, I did my undergrad in China. Like people
Siri
teach
underscore
mahjong in
bot
a
is here.
very
Saribo arrived.
systematic way and in a very serious way. I'm trying to bring that here. I feel like no one has been doing it here. So yeah, let's wait for the other two person.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, nice try, by the way, earlier, Ferry,
Yeah, thank you.
on the tournament.
Hello, assistant. I mean, it's weird when I say hello, assistant, but sounds like you're my assistant. But like,
Yeah,
how should I?
next.
Do you
Yeah,
mind if I
just
call you
call out
Moss?
for. Yeah, just call me Moff.
Okay. Still waiting for Malika. Low. At Monica, at Vivi. Just gonna wait like 1 more minute. If they don't show up, we'll just get started.
Sounds good. Assistant, next slide.
Hi, Vivi.
Hi.
Hi, Malika. Okay. Everyone's here. Let's get
Hello.
started. So, can everyone see my screen well?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Wait.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get started. So this is the first training session. So before it starts, I would like to kind of share my thoughts on like how I prepared my materials like this and like what is my expectation and what's my plan. So I see did this tournament and the theme is training this time, and so I found this very exciting because I taught a lot of other people, and looking back at my journey, I found that reading these two books quickly set up my understanding. And since we only have 3 months, I feel like sharing these two books with you is a very good way to very quickly boost you up to Saint 1 level. That's what I can promise you. So the first book is called What Would You Do 200? Although it's called although it's called 200, there are actually 220 questions. After you go through this, you would build up a very solid efficiency. And you should aim to make zero mistake in this book because the questions are very basic, so the shapes are not complicated. There are more. There's a book that contains more complicated questions, and so what I did is I have this album in my phone, which I created screenshots of those problems that I made errors, and whenever I brush my teeth or like have lunch, I just look through them, and if you refresh them every day, then eventually you'll make zero errors. So for this book, I went through the entire book in 4 rounds. So in the last 1 round, I made 2 mistakes, and in the final round, I finally eliminated all the mistakes. So that was my journey, but you could definitely have your own way of learning. So my plan is, since we have 12 weeks until the tournament, we'll be doing 20 problems each session. So there are in total 11 sessions. And so this is one of the books. The other book is called Statistical Mahjong Strategy. So this book contains 34 chapters, and each chapter is basically a one-line judgment, one-line criteria of defense or offense. Like, for example, you should Dama 52 Kanchan, you should Tanki 1 shown honor, stuff like that. So we'll be going through approximately 3 of these judgments every session. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, so
Sounds really good.
okay, so for the first half, I've prepared this Google Sheet, which I'll be sending in the chat. So it's just like a quiz, and once you submit, it will automatically give you feedback and analysis. So I'll be limiting the time to be 20 minutes. So you have 20 minutes to go through 20 what would you questions. Yeah. So I'll set a timer. And just remember, since we're playing online, each decision in practice is you have only 5 seconds plus 20 seconds. So it's actually already more time than in practice. Okay, so the timer starts. All right, time is up, and let me check. So I've got 4 responses, which okay. Now I've got 5. Okay, so let's go over
bestviewersstreambo.com. Remove
those
the
questions
space
that
at.
has a less than 50% correct response rate, which is automatically generated by Google Form. Why am I getting 6? Did someone respond twice? Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. Yeah?
I responded twice.
Okay, it's fine, it's fine. So let's go through these questions. First one is question 6. You can either look at the form or my screen. They both have the question on it. So this is a shape where if you cut 3/6p, you wait on 7/8s. It's also a ramen, and it has one more tile than 3/6p because you're not holding 8s, but you're holding both 3/6p. So yeah, there's something that people often neglect, that a floater next to a triplet also gives you a ramen.
Come on, bruh.
And so question 7, yeah, question 7 is very interesting. So normal, like at first glance, this is a 3/6/9 3-sided, but if you cut AP, this is also a 3-sided, but with 3-4-7. And this confirms Tanyao, so it's very advantageous. Since we're Riichi Tanyao is better, and also since we are not breaking Anko, if we win on if we sumo on 4/7p, we'll get 40 fu, which would be 52 or 26 all. And so 10 is Kanchan is better than Penchon. So if you draw if you break 9p and sorry, if you draw 6p, then this shape becomes a 5AP ramen directly. But even if you draw 4M, it's still a Kanchan. So Kanchan is better than Penchon because it only requires 1 tile to become a ramen. 13, 14, 13. So 13, starting from 13 up till 16, I guess, is pretty much the same shape. So up to 17 is the same shape. It's a pattern. Sometimes we call it like A plus 2, A plus 4, A plus 4, and BB. So it's
EJ5207 dead.
So the two choices are, like in question 13, the two choices are either 2M or 6M. The total number of acceptance is the same, because if you cut 2M, your acceptance is there's a Kanchan 5M, and there's a 6M and 1S Champon. So the total is 4 plus 4 is 8. And if you cut 6M, then you're left with a 2, 4, 6 connecting Kanchan. So the total is 4, 3M, and 4, 8, 5M. It's still 8. So no matter you cut 2M or 6M, the total acceptance is the same. So it's just to compare which choice gives you better value or better potential. So here, the good thing is if you cut 6M and get a connective Kanchan, if you draw 3M or 5M first, you will both get pinfu. But if you draw 1S and 6M Champon into a triplet, it doesn't give you any value. Yeah, so basically you are trading a Kanchan 3M with a Champon 6M 1S. So yeah, that's how the that's how the mindset is when doing the comparison. And for 14, it's still the same pattern, but when you compare 14 with 13, in 13 one of the pair is 1s. So even if you draw near 1s, it doesn't give you a better shape. It's still either kanchon or panchon. But in 14, both of the pairs are middle pairs. They're 5m and 5p. So if you draw near those pairs, like if you draw 4m, 6m, 4p gives you 10 pi. But if you draw 6p, then you have a Raman upgrade. And what's more about 14 is that so this pair 5m is stronger when it's connected with 2, 3, 4. And the reason is that when you look at the pair is 5m. But when you look at the potential of breaking this pair into a floater, then you're actually dealing with a shape 2, 3, 4, 5, where because of the connection, the 5 is kind of conducted downwards to 2. So both 2 and 5 can become floaters, and that's why you can draw 1m, 3m, and still get Raman. So if you draw 1m, you got a 3-6-man Raman. If you draw 3m, you got a 1-4m Raman. It's because the floater is not necessarily 5; it can also be 2 because of the connection. So that's why here, when you're keeping 2 pairs, you're keeping the potential for drawing near the pair and become a Raman. And so that's all for 14. Any questions? I noticed that you've been silent, all muted.
Oh,
But it's yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's mostly because like my mic's super sensitive. I didn't want to catch like the other stuff.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So going to question. We have 3 left: 16, 17, 18. Okay, 16. 16 is about San and Ko. So if you keep Shampoo, if you draw Shampoo into Anko, you get another Anko. So there are 2 Ankos already, and if you draw one of them, you get San Anko. So you have to keep the Shampoo. And 17. 17 is purely about win rate. So you only have 1 Anko, you don't have San Anko, and because of Anko, you also don't have Pinfu, and South is not your Yakuhai. So it's just about win rate. There's no value no matter whether you choose Kanchan or Shampoo. But if you cut 5 here, then in the future you can either choose to wait on 9p South Shampoo, which, because they're both terminals and honors, it's super strong. You can also cut 9p into Kan 8p, and because you cut 5 in very early, people will think that 8 is safe to you because of 5-8 Suji. So cutting 5 early greatly increases your win rate in the future. If you cut 9p early, then you pretty much have to wait on either Kan 6p or Kan 8p, most likely. And the win rate is worse because people will be alert if you reach on 5p. 5-7-9 is a very classic shape to be a Suji trap. 17, and lastly is 18. Yeah, I noticed some people wrote 6p or 9p, which is fine, I guess. It's just because 9p is like safer usually. So if you have unless you have a very good reason to cut 6, usually you would cut 9. And here it's because this Itsu looks, it seems like there's Itsu, but then this Ishanten needs 1p as your pair. It's just a 2-4-6 connecting Kanchan and 2-5p Ramen. So it's really difficult to form Itsu. So we're just cutting 9p here. And well, in certain circumstances where, like, for example, you're in South 4 and you need like a Mangan to overtake, then the thing is different, because without Itsu there's just no value, so you have to force Itsu. Then you'll probably just cut 1p to force that. But then like in this kind of what would you do exercise, we're pretty much focusing on efficiency only, and So that's not that's not the mindset here, but yeah. And so I guess that's it for like common errors. Like any questions that you wanna like raise like right now? You can also ask me questions after the session, or I think I wrote those feedback quite carefully, and yeah, if you don't have enough time to go through them like right here, you can go through them later on. And so yeah. If there's no more question, then let's go back to our slides. I actually forgot to mention these.
Wait! I wanted to ask a question about 19.
19?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just thought it was a little like cleaner for the 6P, or maybe it's just because I really, really, really don't like I don't like kanchans. It just feels just having that single weight between the sequence is pretty gross, at least to me.
Yeah. So the biggest problem with cutting 6P is actually 6, 7, 8 sanshoku. So if you draw like if so there's a theorem called Santa Claus theorem in efficiency, which is saying when you're considering like what to cut, you should dream that you will be drawing all the most ideal tiles one by one, and then reverse engineer to find out what you want to cut. So the theorem, Santa Claus theorem, is that if you draw 8M, 7P, 6S directly, you get a perfect sanshoku. So so ruling out those 6, 7, 8, what is left is 7M, 8P, and 7S.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
okay. I guess that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so those are the only 3 choices you have, and then you're comparing those choices, and so because you have so many pairs, so all the pairs they all collectively share Champon acceptance. So if you break one of the pairs, you're only losing the pair itself by 2 if you have more than 2 pairs, because the rest of the pairs still have Champon acceptance. If you break 2 pairs into 1 pair, then you're losing 4, because now both of them lose Champon acceptance. Since you have 4 pairs here, breaking any pair only loses the pair itself, but you're holding 3 of the 7M, so you're only losing 7M by 1. But when you break other pairs, you're losing the pair itself by 2, so 7M is better. It's also it also doesn't lose Chitoi. You have 4 pairs, which is 2 away from Chitoi. Because you have 3 7M, even if you cut one of them, you still have the pair 7M technically. So it doesn't lose Chitoi acceptance here. So 7M is just like better in all aspects. Is that clear?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's clear. It's just like I think like for like studying, I'm gonna have to sort of unlearn to just automatically get rid of to just unlearn avoiding kanchans. I think that's all.
Yeah, kanchan is 4 tiles, which is not a small number. Like even if you have like the strongest Ishanten ever, like perfect Ishanten, you have 16 tiles acceptance, but then 4 is like 25% of it. So kanchan is like it makes your weight a little bit worse, but when you're considering efficiency, like break a kanchan needs a very good reason for that. Like if there's actually no better choices. And and one of today's topic is actually you shouldn't be worried about Riichi on kanchan.
Really?
Yes. And so I guess that would be it for what would you do. So I actually forgot that I had 2 extra slides in the front. So this is kind of the overall picture of what to expect and what's not included. So what I expect to bring you is basic efficiency and basic judgment, and I expect you to practice in your own playing to try to apply what you have learned. But what's not included is early game mindset, where you have very far shanten and when should you keep safe tiles and stuff like that, and also advanced efficiency where there's complex shape, where there's board condition read, and also specific condition play where if you're in big lead or far behind, or you're overtaking a certain position in South 4. So in order to make up for that, for the first and third, I encourage you to do individual log review with me. You can schedule this with me individually, because I feel like other teams are doing log reviews together, which I think is a waste of time, because one person's problem is not necessarily other people's problem. So I feel like it's wasting time, so I'm not doing that in a group setting. And for advanced efficiency and for all the other two, there's other books you can read, which because we don't have 3 months, of course I'm not going to force that. But then if you are curious what books I would recommend, you can discuss this with me, and I have a long list. So okay, so let's go to the second half, which I'll be covering 3 chapters of the book, and these chapters are about Hestar Riichi, and which is the first chapter is about building this mindset of making decisions based on round EV. Second one is Ramen Riichi, and third one is Bad Shape Riichi, Kanchang Penchang Riichi, or Shampong Riichi. Okay, so let's get started. So let's first we need to define what is a Hestar Riichi. So statistically, the average Riichi turn is 9.5. But so Hestar Riichi, it looks like first to Riichi, but it's not what it means. So for example, if somebody else called 3 times, or because we're playing Aka Mahjong, if someone chi a ramen with for example, if someone chi 4M with Aka 5M 6M very early game, with Tanyao Dora, it's a really dangerous signal. And or if someone cuts a Dora in the 10th turn or 11th turn from hand, or if someone Honest Overflow, those are signals that this person is very likely to be Tenpai, and that should also be considered a Riichi. So what we mean by Hestar Riichi is that we're certain, or sort of certain, that we are leading in speed. We're first to Tenpai, and yeah, so that's for the definition. And so the example provided in 1.1 is that imagine you're East 1 in South seat, so you're a non-dealer, and it's turn 5, and no other player have called or declared Riichi, so you're pretty much certain that you are the first to Tenpai, and you are Pinfu no Mi, so you only have Pinfu and there's no Dora in your hand. Do you declare Riichi or not? And I'm not expecting you to answer this, but I'm going to answer this myself. So the idea behind this book is that we can do statistics based on a very good database, which is called 10-hole Honro table. So those are very skilled players, best of the players. And when you do the statistics of those game logs, you can classify all the games into these cases where someone wins, or you deal in, or someone else sumo, or someone else doubting to another person, or it went Rukoku. And you do the statistics and you compare the EV, and you find out that when you declare Riichi, the EV is 1900. When you stay Dama, the EV is 600. So from the EV perspective, you should declare Riichi. So Riichi no Mi at turn 5. And we can so Mahjong is a game about speed, so you can't discuss a circumstance without saying what turn is it. So if you change the turn number from 5 to 8 or 12, this is the statistics table of Ramen has Riichi. So this table looks scary. There's a lot of numbers, but we don't need to memorize the absolute value of those numbers. Probably no one can. Probably Kobayashi K can remember every number, but we don't need to remember every number. We just need to remember the relative comparison of Riichi and Dama. That is our judgment criteria. And so by saying like Dama 39 or 52, we mean that you have a Yaku that is not Riichi that allows you to Dama. So let's say if you have Dora 3 and no Yaku, then obviously you have to Riichi, or like pretty much you have to Riichi, because without Riichi you have no Yaku. But so Dama 52 means that you have, let's say if you have Sanshoku Dora 1, which allows you to Dama, so that will be Dama 52. And so if you look at this table and do the comparison, Riichi is pretty much always larger than Dama, except for these 3 regions that is circled by the red circle. So that is the takeaway. When first you Riichi, you should always Riichi your Ramen, except 3 circumstances. First one is Dama Hahnemann confirmed, which is the circle at the bottom center. When you have 6 Han already, even if you Dama, that's where Dama is better. Second one is Dama 350 Fu, which is the circle in the middle. 350 Fu, the problem with 350 Fu is that this is already 6,400 points. Even if you Riichi and Tsumo, you're still 5 Han, and it's just manga, it's 8,000. And if you Riichi and somebody else deals in, it's 450 Fu, it's still 8,000. So even if you Riichi, it doesn't increase your hand value by a lot. It only increases you by 1,600, which is like 25%. But your win rate gets a lot worse. So that's why Dama is better. And the third one is the circle at the bottom right, which is very late game, turn 12. So if you do interpolation, it's pretty much turn 10 or later. If you have some hand that is larger than 5,200, so it's like pretty much like classical cases like Sanshoku Dora 1 with a Kanchan weight. That's the most classic 5,200 points weight. If you have some hand that is 5,200 or higher, then Dama is better than Riichi. So yeah, this is a takeaway, and this book is about these takeaways. So those are very easy to remember, and if you execute this very carefully and like uniformly through all your games, then you'll become a saint or even celestial. So I mean, this is what Mahjong is about. It's about like making accurate decisions. So I think of this book as I don't know whether you play poker or not. So it's like a GTO of poker, where you have like a standard understanding of the game, and you have to make adjustments based on the board condition, which I'm not going to cover here, but maybe I will cover through log reviews. But then it's very important to have this like a fundamental, like a basic understanding of what is the standard move, which is what makes you a good player, like a better player than let's say average gold room or jade room players. So yeah, so this is a takeaway. And so we're curious about like why is this? So we look into those data, and we compare the win rates and other things. And when we look at the win rate, if you compare Riichi and Dama, Riichi, when it's first to Riichi, it doesn't decrease the win rate by a lot. It only decreases the win rate by like 30%. If you look, no matter what turn you're at. So, but Riichi often doubles the value, because if your hand is less than 3,900, Riichi will always double the value, at least double the value. And if you hit Ipatsu or hit Ura, then it's sometimes more than double. And that is also the reason why you don't want to Riichi a Hahnemann confirmed, because when you Riichi Hahnemann confirmed, yes, if you Tsumo, it's 8 Hans Baiman, but the increase from Hahnemann to Baiman is 12,000 to from 12,000 to 16,000, which is only 33%, and it doesn't really make up the loss in win rate. And if you are doubting by some other people, then 7 Han doesn't give you any increase. So that's but 5 Han to 6 Han is directly Haneman, Mangan to Haneman, which is 50% increase. So that explains why 5 Han is a Riichi, but 6 Han is a Dama. And so let's go through these 3 cases where each actually represent one category of the takeaway. So let's ask maybe Monica, the first one. Why should you Dama the first one?
Is it oh wait, yeah, wait, give me a minute. I don't want to look at this again. It can't be because of the Dora. We're not trying to look at is it because oh wait, it's because of the Sanshoku Dojun, right?
Yes.
So the way it's like the hand value is like pretty like decent.
Yeah, so it's Tanyao, Pinfu, Sanshok Dojun, Dora 2. It's already 6 Han. So that's our first category of exceptional case. And let's ask maybe Moth. Why should you Dama the second case?
Let me think. Was it that what was it? Free hand, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's 3 Han. Tanyao, Dora 2. And
what do you mean and?
Normally you should still reach 3 Han. 3 Han is not. This is because Aso Anko is only 4 fu. This is only 40 fu.
Okay.
Wait, is everyone okay with counting fu and counting score?
I have no idea how to count through. Sorry.
Oh,
I need a cheat sheet. I need a cheat sheet.
Yeah, maybe we can quickly cover that as well. Maybe next session. I didn't expect that, but okay. Yeah. So yeah, this also kind of gives you an idea why counting point is so important because it affects your decision making. So okay, I guess I'll go through them myself. So the second case here is Tanyao Dora 2, and it's 340 fu, so it's 52, but it's already turned 12, and so this is the bottom right circle, where in late game you should Dama anything that's 52 or higher. So this is case 2. In case 3, each of the Haku and Hatsu triplet is 8 fu, so it's 16 fu. So this is Haku Hatsu Dora 1. It's 350 fu, and this is our second criteria, which is 64 Dama. So yeah, so these are the what exceptional cases look like. Except for these cases, you should always reach it. That's the takeaway. So what about bad shapes? So this is the table of bad shape Hestar Riichi, and you look into the comparison, and then the comparison is basically a straight. There's a division. Anything that is larger than 52, Dama is better than Riichi. And anything that is smaller than 52 Riichi is better than Dama, except for Riichi no Mi, which is negative number. When you Dama, because when you're Riichi Nomi, if you dama, you don't have Yaku, so you can pretty much think of the EV as 0 because the game is still going on, and so 0 is better than a negative number. So the takeaway is that when first you Riichi, in general, you should always Riichi bad shapes, except for Riichi Nomi, unless it's super early, which is turn 5, like something like turn 5, first roll, and unless it's dama 52 or higher. So that's the takeaway. And when we look at the win rates table again, it still only decreases the win rate by 30%, and the case here is different because it always doubles the value because we have dama at everything that is higher than 52. So anything lower than 26, if you reach, you would always double your value. So that's why Riichi is advantageous. And if you look at like people are scared about Riichi Kanjang because you might get chased and you're dealing to a big hand, but the chance of getting chased is pretty much 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6. And in that case, if you dealing to a Mangan plus hand, a huge hand, the chance is like 3%, 1%. So it's a really rare case where you actually get punished. Usually you will be awarded. And yeah, that's all for today's session. So if you have any questions or suggestions.
I do actually.
Yep.
So for the individual log reviews,
Yes.
I don't know what kind of logs to go over, and should we like provide logs where we had really good games, or like games that we lost, or games that we really shat the bed, or do we just provide games that we have questions for? I don't know.
I guess my suggestion is to avoid doing log reviews for like first place games, because like first place games is like you sometimes, although you made bad decisions, you sumo immediately and we don't see where the error is. So yeah, other than that, any second, third place, fourth place is fine.
Mahjong Soul has a feature called Maka, which is basically a quick analyzer.
Oh yeah, that also works. Yeah.
So yeah, if there's like a game where like it's a really low score, like C or B, then that might be a good game to go over because that's pretty big mistakes. Don't worry, I'm just saying I still get B sometimes. So.
What happens if all your games are C's and B's?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's it. I don't want to take too much of your time. So yeah, pretty well timed. We are now 59 minutes 50 seconds. Okay, I guess if there's no further questions, yeah.
Oh, another thing, yeah, like I wrote down 2 other like titles of the books. Like, do we get them? Like, as I'm actually kind of curious because I want to like read more books. Are they like on Amazon or where do you get them?
So there's I'm from China. There's this Chinese video platform called Bilibili. There's also like articles where there are a lot of Chinese people who translated those books into like readable like website. So that's how I read them. But then in the English community, there's only this repo where there are some of the books being translated, but that's all I know. I'll post a link here. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Not every book here is worth reading actually. So yeah. So like if you want to strengthen like a certain aspect, you should discuss with me and I will tell you like what book I would recommend.
Gotcha.
Can we get a copy of the charts, Meenin? So I sent a PDF earlier, the statistical mahjong strategy PDF. The charts are inside this PDF. And I can also share with you the slides, but I don't think the slides is as informative as the book itself. The food thing, we can, if you still have time, I can also do the food thing here. So food isn't really difficult. I can do this right now. Let me just find a random food table and put it in the slides. Food table. Food table. Wait, why can I not find Mahjong 888? Does it have it? First tracker scoring rules. Let me just use this. Change my share to the browser. How do I do that? Do I have to shut down my? Should be a button which I can change stream. Let's just do entire screen. So the base is pinful, where you have sort. So this is a pinful where your pair is non-terminal. Non-honor. It can be guessed wind, and all the other shapes are sequences, not triplets. And your weight is a Raman. It is pinful, and you're always comparing to pinful. Anything that is different from pinful gives you extra fu. So let's say if this 1, 2, 3 becomes a triplet, I can't do that. This gives you extra fu, and let's say if it's east round and you have east pair, this gives you fu. If you're west seat and you have west pair, this gives you fu. And if your weight is not a Raman, if it's a Kanchan, it gives you fu. If it's a Tanki, it gives you fu, and that's it. So your base is 20, and pinfu is 20. So pinfu is 20. Even if you tsumo pinfu, so tsumo gives you 2 extra fu, but if you tsumo pinfu, it's still 20. And if you are closed tenpai and you're doubting by someone else, this gives you 10 extra fu. Which is, yeah, this is a good table. Very sweet descent. So it means that usually if you are doubting by someone else, if you're pinful, you are 30 fu, and if you're not pinful, you are 40 or higher. And in order to reach, whatever fu you have, it's taken to the upper multiple of 10. Yeah, it's usually when it's close, it's usually 40. In order to reach 50, you need to have at least 12 extra fu to make 30 plus 12 into 42, and then round it up to 50. But it's really difficult to form 12 fu. So it's pretty much you need to have a terminal or honor uncle, because terminal concealed triplet is of terminal is 8 fu. So a typical 40 fu or 50 fu case is if you tsumo with terminal anko and a kanchang, which is 2 plus 2 plus 8 gives you 12, and it's 40 for tsumo. But if you have a closed triplet of terminal and it's still wait on Ramen, that's tsumo 2 plus terminal 8, it's 10, it still gives you 30 full. And if you're doubting by someone else, you don't have the tsumo 2 full, then you need some extra full, which is if let's say if you have one terminal concealed triplet and another middle tile concealed triplet, that is 8 plus 4. So it's pretty much, unless you have a terminal closed triplet, that is when you start to consider full. Otherwise, it's just like wrong 30, closed 40. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So it's just
little bit.
it takes practice. Like if you like when let's say if you play Mahjong so, and you know, like if you after Riichi, like you can try to calculate the score yourself and see whether it matches what you actually get. And yeah, that's what I can think of. There are also websites of like full calculators, which we can also, like full calculator trainer, you can also try to use. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I stopped doing it, but I need to get back into it. My friend suggested this one, where it just gives you a random hand and you're sort of forced to figure out the answer. It's so cool.
Oh yeah, this is nice. Yeah, this is nice. So, Han, Fu, and points. Wow, this is the perfect trainer. Cool. So I guess that's it.
Yeah, no more questions for me.
Okay. I guess in that case we'll see you next week.
Yep, same time next week. I mean, actually, no, I'm kidding. Not actually same time. Next week. Yep.
Is it same time? Probably gonna be same time.
Maybe. I don't know. That's just something I usually say. So,
Okay.
but if it is next time, then yeah, same time next week.
Okay. Thank you for.
I think just one more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing to mention is that just every Han just doubles your value, so it goes from like 1k to 2k, 2k to roughly 4k. So I wouldn't worry too much about food. Just focus on building Han up to like 4 Hans.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it.
Yep.
Thanks for today.
Yeah.
Thanks. Hope you like the
Thank you very
formats.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's nice to do something and then that you talked about it afterwards.
Okay.